So let's write a quick program to calculate standard deviation for a set of data points. And I've created this data file over here. It contains some 12 points, just some random numbers I've put in over there. We're going to try and find the standard deviation of these 12 points. Okay, so how should we do this? I need to read data from a file. So I'm going to first of all import something called load text because that will allow me to put it. Then I'm going to put all of my numbers from that file into something called x. So x is going to be load text. What is that file called? stdevdata.dat, and I'm going to indicate that all of these numbers are real numbers, float. Okay. Uh, let's start running a loop because we need to calculate the mean or the average and the average of the square both. So from I in range 0 to, how many points are there in that file? Well, it's just the length of this array x. So length of x. Yeah, it should work. I in this range. What happened? From for I in this range. Yeah. We need to initialize some sums. So sum over x, let's initialize that to 0, and sum over x square, let's initialize that to 0 as well. So sum x is sum x plus xi. By the way, are you all familiar with this shorthand notation for sum is equal to sum plus? You can just do sum plus equal to. Then sum over x square is a sum over xi squares. Yes, I think that is all that I need. I can come out from the loop, and now I can define my variance as average of squares. So this is the sum of the squares, and then if I divide by length of x, this is average of the squares minus square of the averages. So this is average. Let's square this up. So this is my variance. And then standard deviation is just square root of the variance. Okay, I think we are done. So we'll just print the value of standard deviation. Let's run this and see. Okay, so it gives some number. So this is the standard deviation for this data set that we had. So the last topic that I want to discuss in today's class is what is called linear regression. We are going to see how to fit data to a formula, a linear formula, by least square fitting. So let's see what exactly this means. So this has happened to you before. You have done experiments in the lab. So there is some x, there's some y. So you have been varying x and you've been measuring y, and you're trying to see how x and y are related to each other. So you get some data points. And now somehow you want to try and draw a straight line going through these points. Question is, what is the best possible straight line that you can draw? It's not a trivial question, because maybe you could have different kinds of straight lines. Like maybe this one might work, or this one might work, this one might work. So it's not straightforward just to look at these points and say what the straight line should be. So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to find out what is the best possible line that you can draw through these points. So suppose this is the line that can be drawn. Let this line be called y equals mx plus c. Let this be the equation of the line. The question is, how do you find what values of m and c will give you the best possible line for these points? So each of these points, they are denoted by some x1, y1, x2, y2. In general, these are some xi, yi. Okay. So, okay, let's mark it over here. It will be easier. If you don't mind, I'm going to bring this a little lower. So suppose this is the point xi, yi. Then how much does this deviate from the straight line that we have drawn? So this is the deviation. So let's call this deviation EI for error. So that is the error that exists in this for this particular point compared to this line that we have drawn. So this EI is given by yi minus, so yi is the y coordinate of the point that we have measured in the actual experiment, and the y that is expected from the straight line is mx plus c, actually mxi plus c, because at this particular value of xi, the value of the straight line is mxi plus c. So this gives you the deviation of this point from the straight line. Now what we want to do, okay, one more thing. All of these points are not necessarily equally important. Why do I say that? Because each point that you have measured has some error bar associated with it. Means because of the experiment that you did, every data has some error bars. What this means is that, so for example, if you look at this point, this one here, what it means is that in your experiment you measured this value of x1, y1, but because of your experimental instrument, or maybe because of some error that you might have made, the actual value could be anywhere between this much and this much. So that is an error bar associated with each measurement. Now, of course, if for one particular point, suppose for this point, the error bar is actually very large, means the measurement could have been anywhere, then this measurement is almost useless. Because what does it mean? You've made a large error and it doesn't really contribute much to where your straight line curve should be. So when you're trying to find the best fit, so this line that we are trying to get, we are trying to find the best fit. That is the word that we use. So in finding the best fit, you want to give less weightage to the points which have large error bars. You want to give more weightage to the points which have a small error bar. So if the error bars on each one are given by sigma I, then what we do is that for each of these points, we construct the quantity ei square divided by sigma I square, and then we add them up. And this quantity, we call it chi-square. Why we call it chi-square? We will discuss next term when we are doing statistics. Right now, just treat chi-square as some name that we are giving it. So chi-square is the sum over the deviation of the point from the best fit line divided by the error bar squared. And the idea is that we want to minimize this chi-square, or we want to find the value of m and c which will minimize chi-square. So then what we are saying is we are trying to minimize the deviation. We are finding that straight line for which its deviation from all of our data points is the least, and that we will call the best fit point. So this is the basic philosophy of trying to fit your data points with a straight line. So let's so what does this become? So chi-square is sum over I of yi minus mxi minus c square divided by sigma I square, and we want to minimize with respect to m and c. So for that, you know how to take minimum. You take the partial derivative with respect to m and with respect to c. So we are going to do this, and we are going to do this, and we will get some relations between m and c from these two conditions. So let's work it out and see what we get. So let me just write down once again. Chi-square is sum over I yi minus mxi minus c divided by sigma I square. Okay, so partial derivative with respect to m is 0 means this is 2 times this, and with respect to m, so I'll pull out a factor of minus xi, or in other words 0 is equal to sum over I xi yi minus m xi square minus c xi. I have thrown away this factor of minus 2 because there's just 0 on the other side. That's fine. Or I can write this as, therefore 0 is summation over I xi yi over sigma I square minus m times summation xi square over sigma I square minus c summation xi over sigma I square. So when you've taken your data, you know all the xi values, you know, so for each data point, you know xi, yi, sigma I. So x1, y1, sigma 1, x2, y2, sigma 2, all the way to xn, yn, sigma n. You know all these points, you make the measurement in your experiment. And this is basically, you just plug in those numbers over here and you take the sums and you will get this equation. So let's give these some names. So let's call this term sxy. Let's call this term sxx. And let's call this thing sx. So this is one equation. We also have to take derivative with respect to c. What does this give us? Again 2 times this, and that is all, no? Just minus 1 coming from the minus c. So now, again, I'll throw this -2 factor away, and I will get yi over sigma I square summation xi over sigma I square minus c summation 1 over sigma I square. So let me again give these also some names. So I'll call this sy minus m. This has we have already seen over here. So this is just sx, and let's call this s1. So this is my equation 2. So I have two equations, and there are two unknown quantities m and c, because all of these sx, sy, sxx, all of these I can calculate. It's just about taking the sum over xi square over sigma I square, etc. So those are straightforward to calculate, same way as we calculated the standard deviation before. So all of these s's are known. It's only m and c that are unknown. So two equations, two unknowns, we can solve them. And I have written down the answer to these. You will get m equals s1 sxy minus sx sy divided by sxx minus sx square, and c is sxx sy minus sxxy minus sxx minus sx square. So these are your two equations. So you have all the data points x, y, sigma, xi, yi, sigma, y. Using them, you calculate all of these s coefficients, sx, sy, s1, sxy, sxx. Once you know those, you can calculate m and c. And m and c will define what is the best line that you can draw, which minimizes the error from all of these points. So this process is called least square fitting. Why is it called least square fitting? Because we defined this squared quantity over here. By the way, here is one question: why do we define the square? Why don't we just minimize this quantity? Why do we have to do square of that? The reason is that suppose here is a point, straight line, and suppose you have 2 points. One is below it and one is above it. So if you just take the magnitude of the difference between these two, so over here yi minus nxi minus c is positive, and here it is negative because this is above and this is below. So if I just took the sum of the error like this without the square, then the two errors will cancel out. So basically you will be saying that this is a very good line for these 2 points. But you know, that's not really true. For these 2 points, the best fit line would be something like this. So to do that, to make sure that we are not unnaturally cancelling them out, we make it square. So whether it is positive or whether it is negative, you are still counting the error in both cases, and they're adding up. They're not subtracting and cancelling each other out. So that's why we do square. So this is the least square fitting, because you're fitting a straight line to your data by minimizing the squares of these errors. So this is a very straightforward and very common procedure. Whenever you want to fit some formula with your data points, you do this. Of course, over here we took the simple case where it's only a straight line, but in general, even if you have some complicated function, same way you can do it. You basically, any kind of formula that you want to fit will have some coefficients. For a straight line, it is slope and intercept, so m and c. In general, any kind of formula that you have, it has its own coefficients, and you want to find the values of coefficients which give you the best fit. So in the same way, you minimize your chi-square, define a chi-square, minimize it with respect to those parameters of your curve, and then you solve the equations that will tell you what the best possible values are for those parameters. So that is best least square fitting to find the best fit curve. This is also tied up in some sense to what we call hypothesis testing. So probably in your scientific reasoning course you have discussed that you have some kind of hypothesis, and this is what we might call a theory, and then you have data which comes from experiment, and you want to compare these two. If the two match well, then you say that okay, my hypothesis is correct, my theory is correct. Well, not correct, but it is validated. And if they are not in accordance with each other, then you will say that I will reject my theory because the data doesn't match with the theory. So this is exactly what we've done in this least square fitting. These points that you had, these are your data. And the line that you drew, this is your hypothesis. And you're asking the question, does the hypothesis fit with the data? So in doing that, you are calculating a value of chi-square. So you're minimizing the chi-square. So you're saying that if the chi-square is less than some threshold value, then you will say that the data and the hypothesis match each other, or your data isn't, the hypothesis is compatible with your data. But if it is greater than the threshold value, so this means hypothesis is validated. By data. But if it is greater than the threshold value, then you will say that the hypothesis is rejected. So this is a standard procedure in any cutting edge research where there is some theory which needs to be tested, and you are doing an experiment, you have data, you want to check whether your data and that theory are compatible or not. Okay, so I think this is all that I want to say with regards to statistical modeling. Of course, we will continue a little bit of the discussion of statistics also in the next lecture when we are talking about random numbers. So yeah, that's it for now.